Welcome to another video in the VMD Sorter series. In this particular video, we're going to be looking at the Sorter Admin menu or administrative menu. While this video is specifically designed for sorters version 20 and above, many of the options that we're going to talk about will also apply to earlier versions of the sorter. Now, the first button we're going to talk about is the cleanup button. And in order to demonstrate that, I've actually caused an error in this sorter. I have the grapes basket up here. I've edited that single prim. And what I've done is I've actually put a salt mill into that basket. And this is what the cleanup button does. It will search around and look for problems in the sorter where things are in the incorrect crate, for example. It's in the admin menu, so we click on the sorter to get to our menu options. We'll go to admin and we see the cleanup button. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. You can see the script's doing its thing. And then in local chat, it gives me a couple of bits of information. It says DFS hops basket returned DFS salt mill to the main prim as it doesn't belong there. Make sure to recount as my inventory has changed. So the sorter is giving us some very helpful information in local chat. Now, what actually happened? The salt mill that was here in the hops basket, because it doesn't belong, the sorter script pulled it out and actually put it in the main top left area of the sorter, which is where you would normally drop things to sort. So that's where it went. That means that in order to put it in the correct crate, I have a small salt mill crate over here, I can click the sort button. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And the salt mill count went from 1 to 2. However, remember the instructions that it gave me in local chat. It also said to do a recount. This hops basket crate is showing a count of 3, but I know there's only 2 in there. The third item was the incorrectly placed salt mill. So the recount button, going again to the main sorter menu, is located in the root menu. In other words, the very main menu. You don't have to go to any of the sub-menus. And if I click recount, it will go through and correct the count of all the crates. And now that hops basket has gone from 3 down to 2, which is the correct number. So that's what the cleanup button does. If someone has accidentally put items in a wrong crate, and that is difficult to do if you're using the sorter properly, but if that happens, go to your admin menu, click the cleanup button, and follow the directions in local chat. And remember that anything that is cleaned up will be up here ready to sort. So you will need to click this top center area where it says click here to sort in order to sort that. Next button is our default button. We get a lot of messages in group chat where someone is looking for a CSR because their sorter turned all black. We're not 100% sure what causes that. I know if you manually edit your sorter and change the size, sometimes that will cause it. But there's probably some other reasons too that cause your sorter to turn black. If that happens, go to your sorter menu, go to admin, click the default button, and notice the size has changed significantly. And in local chat, I get some directions. It says, once the reset is done, make sure you click the menu, build, resize, fine-tune, process. This will make sure all size and color settings are applied to all prims. Okay, and then it says sorter ready, meaning it's ready to do that. So again, those directions: menu, build, resize, fine-tune, process. Now, I am going to put our sorter back to the default size by going to build. By the way, the build menu is covered in another video. Resize, and it went to the default size automatically. And I'm going to shrink that down. Resize small, and that should get us back to where we were when I started this video. So again, if your sorter turns all black, go to your admin menu, click the default button, and simply follow the directions that it puts in local chat. It's just that easy. It will reset the size, it will reset all your textures to the proper colors and all that stuff. Basically, it fixes everything, and then you can go back to the resize menu and readjust the size and columns and all the other stuff that's covered under that build menu. Next is the update button. It's in the admin. You're probably not going to use this very often. It is used if you're doing a box script update. So, for example, we get a new version of sorters. The main scripts are very easily done. You just res out the crystal and click it, and it will run around your sorter, and it will update the main scripts and all of the sorters that you own on the sim. It's pretty handy. Box scripts have to be done sorter by sorter. So you would res the box script crystal, and then you would click on your sorter. You click on the crystal that you just res, then you click on the sorter and go to admin and click update. And then you're going to get this little menu. You're going to want to click yes, and then the crystal will update the box scripts in your sorter. Easy as that. Version check is another neat button that's in the admin menu. I was just talking about updating the box script, and this ver check or version check button will let you know if your box scripts need to be updated. If you click it, local chat is going to say checking box versions. If they're up to date, then that's all you're going to see. If your box scripts are not up to date, then you'll get some additional instructions in local chat, and you will know that you need to update your box scripts rather. Reset boxes is another option that's in the admin menu. Now, when you reset boxes, that is resetting the scripts in all the crates that you have on your sorter. Anytime a box script is reset, the contents of that crate go up into the top left area of the sorter. So, for example, if I click the grape baskets and just on that crate, and I do a reset box, it took all those items that were in that crate and moved them up here. That crate is now empty and it can be removed. If I'm in the admin menu and I do reset boxes, it does that to all of the crates that are in my sorter. So now you can see they all have 0. We've had people click that reset boxes in the admin menu and they panic and they jump in group chat yelling for a CSR and say that they lost all their items. Well, no, you didn't, because the boxes were reset. They were put up here waiting for a sort. If I just click here to sort, it's going to process all those items and resort them into the boxes. One word of caution: if you have a crate that has a lot of items in it, 700, 800, 1,000, 1,200 items in a crate, I would highly recommend that you box up those items first before you do a reset boxes for all of the boxes using the admin menu. Sometimes Second Life does not like that many things being processed at once, and I've noticed that it's easy to lose items if you don't do that correctly. Now, I have 2 empty crates here. It might appear that I lost those items, but I did not. From another video that I was talking about, I had Breakout turned on. and the wine barrels were broken out by year. That's information is covered in the build video for the sorter, so you can read about that. When I came to this sorter, I turned off the breakout. So when I resorted just now, it put all of those wine barrels, the 2023 and 2025 ones, in this single crate. So I really didn't lose anything, even though it might appear. Very seldom does the sorter lose anything. As a matter of fact, I've never had it lose anything, and I've been using the sorter since they were first invented by Victor. The final button we're going to talk about in the admin menu is the Reset WV button. So you go to admin and it's right here, Reset WV. That stands for Web View. If you are a Web View user, then this will reset the web view on this particular sorter. So, for example, if this sorter is not showing online when you go to your web view options on the VMD website, this could be a cause. Sometimes you might get a message in local chat that says, hey, something's wrong, reset web view. So that's where you do that. It's in the admin menu. And you're not going to see a whole lot of flashy stuff going on. It just resets the different communication protocols so that WebView should be able to talk to this sorter, or this sorter can talk to the WebView online. If you're getting that error from a lot of your sorters, then I would recommend you get the free VMD HUD, because it has a reset WebView option, and it will reset the WebView on all of your sorters that you own SIM-wide. So if you've got 15, 20, 30 sorters and you want to reset the WebView on all of them, that HUD is just a very convenient way to do it. That's all there is for the admin menu that we're going to cover. There is a name button. We talked about that in the initial setup. If there's any other buttons that you're curious about, or I went through it too quickly in this video, you can look them up in the manual for the sorter. Thank you very much, and be sure to check out other videos in the VMD sorter series.